Imagine a snake has just caught its prey. It doesn't chew. It doesn't tear it into tiny pieces. It just opens its mouth and swallows the whole thing. Skin, fur, bones. Everything goes straight down. A bird can do the same thing with an entire fish, and crocodiles often swallow huge chunks of meat almost immediately. Watching that, you might wonder, why don't they chew like we do? Wouldn't breaking food into smaller pieces make it easier to digest? But this isn't some clumsy way of eating, it's a survival strategy. Because in the wild, catching your prey doesn't mean you get to enjoy your meal in peace. Another predator could show up, your food could be stolen. And the longer your head stays down while you eat, the less attention you can pay to what's happening around you. So for many predators, the rule is simple. Swallow first, stay safe first, digest later. But what actually happens when bones, fur, and skin all end up in the stomach at the same time? And why can their bodies handle something that humans simply can't? First, we need to see why eating too slowly in the wild can be a very expensive mistake. Imagine a lioness has just taken down a zebra. The hard part seems over. But the danger isn't. Hyenas may already be watching from the distance. Vultures are circling overhead, and another pride could show up at any moment. Now think about what happens when that lioness lowers her head to eat. For a few seconds, she can't watch everything around her, and every extra second spent chewing is another chance for something to go wrong. Her meal could be stolen. She could be surrounded, or she might be forced to leave the kill she worked so hard to catch. That's why many predators don't eat the way we do. They bite off a large piece, swallow it quickly, then lift their heads and scan the area again. In the wild, food sitting on the ground can still be taken from you. But once it's inside your stomach, it's yours. So for many predators, eating fast isn't bad manners, it's protection. But speed alone doesn't explain everything. Because some predators aren't just choosing not to chew. Their bodies were never really built for chewing in the first place. And that becomes obvious the moment you look inside a snake's mouth. Take a close look at a snake's mouth. You won't find broad, flat molars like ours. Instead, its teeth curve backward like tiny hooks. They're great for gripping prey, but terrible for chewing. A snake can open its mouth incredibly wide and slowly pull prey deeper into its throat, but it can't grind food from side to side the way humans do. Crocodiles are similar. Their jaws are incredibly powerful when they snap shut. They can grab, hold, and tear off large pieces of meat. But their mouths aren't designed to chew food into small, soft pieces. So those terrifying teeth aren't really a set of knives and grinders. They're more like tools for catching and controlling prey. And that tells us something important about evolution. Nature doesn't build every animal to do everything perfectly. It builds bodies that are good enough to survive. For many predators, the mouth only needs to do one job: get the food inside. Because once the meal goes down, the real work begins somewhere else, inside the stomach. Now imagine what happens after a snake swallows its prey whole. The meal isn't just meat, there's skin, fur, bones, and other tough tissue. All of it reaches the stomach at the same time. That means the digestive system has to do the work the mouth never did. After a large meal, a snake's body can shift into overdrive. Its metabolism rises, more blood is sent to the digestive organs, digestive enzymes increase, and the intestines become much more active. From the outside, the snake may look like it's doing almost nothing, but inside, its body is working incredibly hard. That's also why some snakes can eat one huge meal and then go a long time before hunting again. Humans start breaking food down the moment we chew. But for predators that swallow prey whole, most of the real breakdown happens after the food is already inside. And here's the surprising part. Swallowing the whole prey doesn't just save time, it can also help the predator get more value out of every single meal. A wild predator doesn't have a grocery store. It has no idea when the next meal is coming, and every hunt costs energy. It can fail. The predator can get injured, or another animal can steal the kill. So once food is finally caught, getting as much nutrition from it as possible makes sense. When a bird swallows a fish whole, it isn't just eating the soft meat. Small bones, skin, scales, cartilage, all of it can go into the digestive system. And many of those parts contain useful minerals and nutrients. If your stomach can break them down, why leave them behind? Suddenly, swallowing prey whole doesn't seem so primitive. It's fast, it reduces the time spent exposed around a fresh kill. And it helps the predator use more of every meal. But you don't have to go into the wild to see traces of this behavior. In fact, there may be an animal doing something very similar right under your dinner table. Your dog. You pour food into your dog's bowl. You turn away for a few seconds. Then you look back, and it's almost gone. Some dogs eat so fast it barely looks like they're chewing at all. But why? There are no hyenas around. No rival predator waiting to steal the bowl. And your dog probably knows another meal is coming tomorrow. The problem is, the environment changed faster than the instinct did. Dogs descended from animals that often had to compete for food. If several animals were feeding from the same kill, the faster eater usually got more. So even today, some dogs still carry that old urge to eat quickly. The house is different. The bowl is different. The food is guaranteed. But some of the old behavior is still there. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Humans may have a small version of the same response. Think about the last time you were extremely hungry. Did you really chew every bite slowly? Or did you start eating much faster than usual? Comment 1 if you think survival instinct is the bigger reason animals eat fast. Comment 0 if you think body design matters more. But before you decide, there's one more question we need to answer. Why can a snake swallow something huge, while a human can choke on just one oversized bite? If a snake can swallow prey wider than its own head, why can a human choke on just one oversized bite? The answer is hidden in the design of our throat. Humans use the same general area for both breathing and swallowing. When we swallow, a small flap called the epiglottis helps keep food out of the airway. Most of the time it works perfectly. But if a piece of food is too large or goes down too fast, it can block the airway. Snakes are built very differently. Their jaws and swallowing system are adapted to move huge prey into the digestive tract. Humans, on the other hand, evolved for something else. Fine control of the lips, tongue, jaw, and throat. Those abilities helped us produce complex sounds, and eventually language. So evolution gave us a different advantage. Snakes became extremely good at swallowing. Humans became extremely good at communicating. And there's another difference. Humans also learned to make eating safer. We built shelters, used fire, lived in groups, and watched out for one another. That meant we didn't always have to eat as fast as possible. We could slow down, chew, talk, and share a meal. But that leads to one final question. If humans worked so hard to create a world where we could eat safely, why do so many of us still rush through our meals today? Now go back to that dinner table. You're sitting in a chair. Your food is right in front of you. No hyenas are closing in. No rival predator is waiting to steal your meal. You can take a bite, chew, pause, talk, then keep eating. That feels normal to us. But in the animal world, that kind of safety is actually a huge advantage. A snake swallows whole prey because its body is built for it. A crocodile gulps down large pieces because grabbing and tearing matter more than chewing. A dog may still eat quickly because some old survival instincts never completely disappeared. Different animals, different bodies, but the same basic rule. The way an animal eats reflects the world it has to survive in. If food can be stolen, eat fast. If looking down too long makes you vulnerable, swallow and look up. If your digestive system can handle the rest, there's no need to waste time chewing. Humans built a different kind of world. We made shelters, used fire, formed communities, and eventually created places where eating was no longer a constant fight for survival. But here's the strange part. Today, many of us are rushing through meals again, eating in the car, eating at a desk, eating while staring at a phone. Not because a predator is coming, but because we're distracted, stressed, or in a hurry. After millions of years of becoming safe enough to slow down, we often eat like something is still chasing us. So the next time you see a snake swallow its prey whole, don't think it doesn't know how to eat. It's simply eating the way its world demands. And the next time you sit down for dinner, slow down for a moment. Because in nature, not every animal gets that luxury. Subscribe to Animal Y for more surprising explanations behind the strange things animals do.